welcome back everyone to Marjura, to Myth Machine channel, where we are in Marjura, the small Arctic island far away from civilization and law and order and all those other things that civilized people cherish. All you have around here is ice and monsters and death, right everybody?
Bureaucracy.
There is a certain level of bureaucracy too, which we experienced last term. That's not word of a lie. This show is rated R for, I don't know, dragons? Have we seen any war crimes yet?
There are some undead. There are some... We did raise the dead. I don't know if that's a war crime or not.
But you could raise the dead in a PG...
seem like...
You could raise the dead in a PG-13 fashion, I think, theoretically.
Yeah, depending on how undead you want them to be.
Are you telling us to commit war crimes? Is that what's going on? Is that what
no, it is not. I'm just so...
Where's the nearest children of our village of children that we can go burn down?
Yeah.
It's just like the last...
I'm going to swing by the orphanage on the way there. Yeah.
The last group I played...
That just reminded me of the Undead. That animated music video where there's undead in it, and there's like this general fighting the undead who looks just like Hugo Chavez. I think the video actually came out before Hugo Chavez was famous.
That is hilarious. Now, the group that I'm currently much further along in the campaign with, they've started on book 3. They regularly commit war crimes, so I'm just so used to trigger warning for war crimes.
We're up our game then.
Yes, clearly. Anyway, with us this time we have whom? And that's when they went quiet.
I'm Brett. I'm Wild Wolfbane. He's a Wolfkin hunter. Or a hunter who just happens to be Wolfkin. He doesn't hunt Wolfkin, just...
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
I am Gazebo. I am playing Halveld Clearmind. And he is a almost world-renowned man of knowledge.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
I'm Roger. I'm playing Kirov the Large, human merchant and mining engineer.
That is indeed. And last time when we played, someone did something and the king woke up. But nobody actually died because apparently the king was more interested in
ran away.
in trinkets and things. And you all ran away, which I think might have been, what do they say, the better part of valor? Maybe.
Yeah. We were just advancing in another direction.
I'm not holding running away against you. I'm just saying that it might have been a wise choice. And none of the NPCs around were waiting around. You had a moment when Gistaki tried to attack the king, and I guess the sword hit the body, and some of the rotten silk clothes fell off, but the king didn't even care. So that was a moment.
I'm sure I'll go find the whole kingdom of undead just around the corner.
Because because
not gonna come back to bite us at all.
Yeah.
And as you were running away from this place, speaking of Kingdom of Undead, the dead were in fact rising in great numbers in the field. You saw almost everywhere hands coming out, torso slowly dragging themselves up out of the moor, maybe 1 or 2 feet sticking up before the rest of the body came out, and restless bog people everywhere. It's almost they had waited for a given signal, and they'd been in there for a while. Centuries, apparently. Maybe even millennia. Who knows? But
the king has the most extreme monitored response burglar alarm ever.
That is a pretty convincing burglar alarm, isn't it? Everyone wakes up. Let's go. On the way back, everybody tired, pretty scared as well. You were arrested. Not formally, but at least the Reavers, the Wolfkin pack, the mercenary pack working for the Procurator, arrested you on behalf of Colonel Prance de Kelve of the Digita Longa, the long finger of the Orion Law, as it were. The Secret Service, that is. And brought you to prison in Arnhem, where you spent a night and a whole bunch of hours of being questioned by the Colonel. And all of you managed to roll pretty well on your persuasion checks, including a crit, which apparently was enough for the Colonel to find that you were not the conspirators, you were just completely innocent bystanders. The real bad guys all along were Balder Growler, now deceased, and, of course, the brains of the criminal enterprise, Briar Briskfoot, who is nowhere to be seen because apparently he has escaped from jail. Rumor has it he might have had Shagolite help. And then you went down to the tavern to recruit other adventurers to head down to the mercury mine and possibly act as meat shields for you. And that's where we left off, wasn't it?
Who was the guy that got murdered on the day we left? Because they said there was someone that...
Oh yeah,
murdered
Travinda de
from our
Holmes,
party.
the nobleman who had been talking about mining operation techniques and whether or not you could use the potion, the alchemic compound known as zombine to control your workers effectively.
Okay, yeah, the guy who just everything was just okay. I'm quite curious now, actually, how why would anyone murder him?
I can hear that you want to gather some gossip at the at the tavern. That is what I'm hearing when you say that.
Okay, all right. Shelby's.
Yes, it's what time is it? Did we say right now? It is in fact pretty much in the middle of the day, so there's going to be some guests here, definitely. And you will be therefore given ample opportunity to ask questions and find out possibly answers. Yeah, I'm sure it's going to be very informative for you, as it were.
Okay, all right. Let's have a drink.
Yeah.
Oh, look, our good friend Rover is here. 1 second. Someone at my door.
Your good friend Rober is absolutely here, and you've been negotiating with him for what is the price for getting the buskers to go with you on an adventure. Parma is a little bit confused over this. They are performers, not adventurers. Why would they? But you have experience with the world, right, Kirov and Halveld? She's a young adult. You are an adult. She'll defer to your greater wisdom on this. There's going to be a couple of soldiers in here, of course, because why shouldn't there be? Oh, I'm clicking on the wrong tab. That helps me nothing. They might be into their cups already at lunch. Sadly for them, I guess. I'm going to put them over there. There is some wiry fellow in travel-stained robes watching everyone quietly while fiddling with some dice. There is someone you do recognize, actually. You remember Guster Blackbolt? Who helped you with he helped Baldur with the cargo of smuggled swords. Much good it did Baldur in the end. And we have some other folks too. Yeah. Specifically, this is gonna be great. I think it's gonna be great. Isn't it gonna be great? Yes, it is. These guys don't look terribly nice to the eyes. They stink more of sulfur than anyone else. It's like it has poured into their very clothes. It's like they washed their clothes in sulfur. Or maybe it's been just rubbed into their very skin. And one of these is this guy. The huge towering fellow who was giving the jester a hard time last time you were around. He's apparently here. And even as Gistaki, I guess they're stepping in through the door right now, actually. But that's not the only people here. We'll have... It's a busy day today, clearly. How about Gwelmin? You remember him? The dwarf that gave you the information to begin with? About the place? And the immensely well-dressed mugger. Yes, one of the muggers. There's also some farmers, some just general, maybe sailors from down by the ships, perhaps. A young person dressed in, shall we say, trying to expose all their talents in order to pick up a John or a Jane for the afternoon. Business is brisk among the prostitutes of this island right now. This is probably the only time in the year they can... Probably not, because it gets lonely over winter, I'm not going to lie. But yeah, that's the current crowd, as Halvin is sitting there and thinking about who to approach. The Gistaki, of course, he's standing there and declaring that I am the strongest man on Marjura. And as he does that, I think this man, the Ogre, I should say, is coming in through the door and looking up and saying, "What? That's all wrong. I'm the strongest one on Marjura."
While ago, all right, I have 5 gold pieces on the ogre.
That's... Yeah, the ogre will step forward. And Deidre is looking at him with some disdain. Gistaki is like, uh-oh. And any reaction here from Wild? Wild wants to bet some money. Kiro, Halvel, any reactions?
I think Kirov's just in a state of... That escalated quickly.
Yeah.
And just watching how this goes. Because if this goes badly, we may not end up buying Gistaki new armor.
Alva's just taking notes. This will be very interesting. This will be a learning experience for everyone involved.
Since all of you are just not getting involved in this, Robert definitely will. And he's gonna walk up there and immediately try to interpose himself. And he's not the only one, actually, because Hildur, your local tavern keep, is also gonna move up there, even as everybody else is moving distinctly away. I guess this guy is like behind Aberlex for moral support or something, which is not really needed. And Meriti with a small eek moves out of the way. But Hildur will stare at Aberlux. He just stares at him. And he's just, "I've told you before, Aberlux. If you want to deal with the fists against someone, you do it outside my tavern. Now you can sit down and enjoy the show, or you can leave." It's probably a bit comic in a sense. Hildur is a tall, imposing man, barrel-chested, wide-shouldered, the arms of a blacksmith. It's not someone I would want to pick a fight with, and who is stronger of Gistaki and Hildur, that's really anyone's guess. But none of them... Hildur looks like a child compared to Aberlux almost. Like, he reaches Aberlux to the mid-chest. And Aberlux is big enough for both Gistaki and Hildur put together. But even Aberlux kind of shrinks and slouches his shoulders and... I'm sorry, Master Hildur. And then he stares daggers at Gistaki and grabs his colleague and say, "We wait outside." And they go outside. Yay! They're no longer inside. I'm sure that's much better. Yeah, Rober.
Considering Hilda told him to, if you want to fight, go outside, and he specifically says, "We wait outside."
Yeah.
That's what is going to happen later.
You can
I'm like,
see
"All right,
him.
Gistaki, let's finish this bet. Come on.
You can.
Outside. You heard the man.
You can see Aberlak standing outside, like 2 steps, like 2 Aberlaxian steps, of course, but still 2 steps outside the tavern, and the other guy is just standing there and wanting to go inside, but every time he tries to, Aberlak's huge hand just rumps down on his shoulder and keeps him there. "No, we wait outside." And Gistaki is looking around nervously and doesn't seem to be too happy with this situation at all. He's gonna whisper something to Rober. I don't know if any of you can hear it, though. But while that has meant the break in Dida's and Gistaki's performance, Mosca will take up his performance and start doing somersaults over here instead. Yay!
Okay. Kirov, maybe if you could, maybe get Gistaki out of this pickle, you would owe us a favor.
Yeah, I've got a plan.
I might go
Okay.
try and recruit the ogre. I'll go outside to talk to the ogre.
Oh, you're gonna go outside and talk to the ogre?
Yeah.
Okay. How do we mark that we are outside then? I don't have a good picture of Marjura in, like, Arham, the actual town, as it were. But that's okay. Like, the inside the town. This is the closest I get, I guess. So,
I'm
yeah.
just thinking now of all the guys making this campaign again. That's what you said.
Yeah, yeah.
They're waiting for these moments. They're like, "Oh, we need an artwork for that. Look at that. He doesn't."
Exactly.
We need
That's
an
what they
artwork for
need.
that."
They're, all of them are following me closely. As we can see on the high audience numbers, there's thousands of people watching right now. There isn't. But yeah, Aberlax is standing outside as you're coming out. He completely ignores you, Wild, because like the door opens and you can see that he tenses up and gets very alert. And also he has a really big, nasty club. It's like a 2-handed club that he rests on his shoulder, while the other guy has like a short sword in the belt and a dagger and a leather harness, and that's about it. This other fellow, why don't I show you how he looks like? Again, like that. Yeah. It's just some ruffian who you would, if this was any other place in the world, you would peg them for a bandit, caravan guard, for a merchant who is not particularly interested in hygiene or representation, maybe a cheap and miserly merchant or a desperate one, or maybe some other kind of mercenary who just picks whatever job they can get. Definitely not going to win any beauty contests with that smell, though. But gnarly fella, definitely. Yeah, he's just being there and grumpy, and Aberlux takes half a step forward when Wild comes out, but then he steps back again and goes, "Oh, we wait outside," and he tells his companion here.
I'll go up to Everlax and say, I know, man, trust me, I was betting on you to win, but I think the other guy, he's a bit just too scared of you to even want to try.
Yes, too
But I got an
scared,
even better
too
challenge for you if you want.
too scared of mighty Aberlux. And he just bashes his big chest. The great master, Colonel General, Marshal Prance, he came to camp and he gave me orders, promoted me, he did. I'm now Captain Aberlax. That's what I am. Yes, sir. I'm captain now. I run things. I'm important. Of Tricorio, I am Prance's loyal officer, I am.
I know you are, pal. I know you are. I'm sure you're great at it too. But I heard some of the people talking in there, and they just don't think you got what it takes. I think you're gonna need to do something to prove it to them.
Huh? What? What do you mean? I need to prove it to them. I can prove it. I can prove anything. I can do anything. I am the strongest on Marjura.
Trust me, you don't need to tell me, pal. If you want,
Look how strong I am.
me and my friends, we're gonna go down. We're gonna try and take down that dragon that's over in the mines. And if you do that with us, trust me, no one. You might even get promoted again.
Dragon? Now you can see the cogwheels in his head, to the extent there are any. Maybe there's two very rusty ones. Trying to turn really hard. Dragon. I can do anything.
Yeah, if you're scared of you now, you come back with a dragon's head. You'll probably be put in charge of the whole city.
There's something about dragon. Let's see if he can remember what it is about the dragon. Yeah. What might his intelligence be, everyone? Are we taking bets here on Aberlax's intelligence?
Oh, 5?
That's probably not too far off the mark. Where did that go? Oh, I don't think his stat is on there. That's fascinating. Oh, there it is. No. Okay. Yeah.
Next time you don't tell them about the dragon. You tell them everything except for the dragon. We're going to a place. We're going to do some things, and then when we get there, like, oh, did I forget to say about the dragon? Oh, he's here now.
I'm gonna roll d6 for him. Let's go. I rolled amazingly well. Uncharacteristically like an ad. Ooh! Ooh! No can do, he says and looks at you. And he looks genuinely sad because this whole idea of killing a dragon to prove his amazingness is apparently attached a nerve, definitely. No can do. Orders. Can't break orders. No, orders are no one touch dragon, only Tricorian soldiers. Patrol dragon, Aberlax, not Tricorian soldier, Aberlax, officer of Sulphur Camp, only. Only if the mighty General Colonel Prance. Huh?
Do you know why they give you that order, pal?
No?
Because they know that they just don't want you to have that glory. They want it for themselves.
Well,
I'm trying to help you out here.
Aberlax don't know. Aberlax follow order. Aberlax does a most important thing for guard. Follow order. Never leave post.
Hold on. Why don't they want you to take down the dragon?
Because
Let's
important
put this in
for the
simple terms.
Empire.
Dragons are good or bad here. Let's just.
I don't know. Orders. Axe follow orders. This guy here is gonna he's looking at both of you and he's gonna try to sneak off and manages to take a step on the wrong direction. So this is actually like the horses, whatever beasts of burden you might have. There's a water trough for them and he managed to stumble on it and fall into it with a splash. So you can hear it very clearly. And as he scrambles up, and both of you are looking at him, he's, I ain't gonna have no part in this shit. And then, of course, Aberlax's big hand comes down upon him again. We wait outside! And he's, yeah, we do that. So he's gonna stay after all. He tried to sneak away. He failed. I cannot leave post, he tells you again.
Where is your post?
Wherever Colonel Prance puts me, and he tries to do standing at attention. He's a little bit too bow-legged to pull it off properly, and his long arms, as he's coming up at attention, are so long that his knuckles almost scrape the ground, but he's doing his level best impression of it standing at attention. And while he's doing this, the club that he had on his shoulders slowly slips off and just falls to the ground. Splat.
Huh. Don't you think how impressed he would be if you took down that dragon all by yourself? Let me tell you.
Why don't you roll a persuasion with a bane? This man is very reluctant. But you might succeed, who knows? Oh, that's so close.
No.
Do we want to push that, or are we satisfied with this?
No, I won't try and push.
I understand. It's a long shot, and you're probably not going to succeed.
Yeah,
so.
I won't.
Yeah, no, Aberlux is, he's a stubborn man. He's definitely not the sharpest knife in the box. Probably one of the bluntest knives of the box, really. But...
okay, everyone. Who do you take orders from again?
Colonel General Master Marshal Stakelve, sir. Of the Dig Dalonga, sir. He's the master. Uh-huh.
Okay.
That was
I'll just go back inside and go to Kirov and Harold. All right, we need to forge a letter from that Captain General guy.
that was the guy you were interrogated by, obviously.
Yes.
The likelihood that he would send Aberlux off to kill a dragon is very limited indeed.
Yeah,
sure
but
a letter
Aberlux
is the
himself
right
wouldn't go
medium?
there.
Yeah, are you sure a letter is the right medium to get him to do something? Because a letter with your orders.
That's true. Just give me one of those things from your backpack habit. Oh, I'll just say it's a letter from him.
Or do you mean to tell me that is not someone who can read? I'm shocked at this suspicion of yours.
No,
Okay,
I'm
I've got
convinced
a
he'll be very... Oh.
Go ahead.
No, he was pretty much on the money. I don't think he can read.
Okay, I've got a solution to this. We've got Kirov is going to try and talk Hilda into putting a load of like big rocks and cart axles and wheels and stuff in the backyard, so people can have like strongman competitions, so they can settle the differences without violence and just do shows of strength that we can also bet on.
Ah! All right.
But then Wild will just go, or who wants to see two people beat the shit out of each other?
If it's between feats of strength and a wrestling match, yeah, who knows who would come out on top of that, let's just say. Meanwhile, Rober and Gistaki and Deidre, Deidre's paying attention to what's going on outside. Rober is very annoyed because this means that Gistaki and Deidre are not getting whatever coin there is to get from literally these two drunk people and probably Ronald as well. So, yeah, there's a problem here. Rober is actually going to look to you. Maybe, says Rober. Gents, maybe we could start on the expedition already. Right? The three of us, we go out the back sea, where no one can see us, and looks towards the front side where it is, and we just head away to that place you spoke of, where we have things to do. And it's good day's hard work, isn't it? We'll all get rewarded with some good coin for it. The audience in here is meager anyway. I'm offering my good companions here, Deidre and Gistaki, and their talents, including my own humble self, of course, to leave immediately for that errand you spoke of.
The one with the mines?
Shh. He's gonna whisper to remind you that disturbing the dragon is actually illegal.
Oh, it is.
Oh,
Wait, hang on.
yes.
What?
It's
Did I
very
miss
much
that?
illegal.
I missed that.
Yeah. That
Okay.
was... You would... Okay, so obviously Gazebo missed that, but Halveld has a lot of intelligence. So he might
God,
just
yeah.
remember that... Let's see now.
Is that when we got off the boat or something?
Yeah, they spoke
Yeah, I
of the
wasn't paying
general
attention then.
laws, and
Okay.
there's not to be disturbed. So, yeah, according to
Oh,
Shakorian
okay.
law. You don't know the punishment for disturbing the dragon. It's going to be something, obviously. In fact,
Probably disturbing the dragon is the punishment for disturbing the
It's like-
dragon.
You managed to.
that
well
makes
done, you've been
sense.
eaten. Yeah. Okay. But so our plan is just to steal these barrels of mercury, right?
Yep.
So the stealing from. We're actually not stealing from the dragon. We're just going in his vicinity, moving some barrels.
That's what
Maybe.
Guelmin said. That's exactly what Guelmin said. You're not stealing from the dragon. You're taking back what is rightfully dwarven property. That's what you're doing.
Moving
Guelmin
things around.
has given you some leads here. Aside from the fact that he's gonna pay some 50 gold coins per barrel.
Don't mention that out loud to the mercenaries.
No. This is between yourselves. There is also apparently a hidden passage from the office down to the second level of the mine. But, so from the office of the mine office, wherever the mine office might have been, down to the second plane of the mine. But the only thing that the sole survivor from the attack knew about this secret tunnel was go with heat, go in darkness, or walk with heat, walk in darkness. Maybe it's a password.
Wait a minute. So this one person who survived is not yet surviving. He's not alive. He's not around anymore.
That's correct.
And instead of telling us where the tunnel is, he gave us this riddle.
He was badly burned, and that was all that he managed to squeeze out of himself.
I only have time for one riddle. No, just all right. Okay. Damn it. Okay. All right. No, fair enough. Okay. So, what do you guys think? Should we bring them aboard? It's in larger groups. It's easier to move stuff, but also more easy to get caught.
Yep, on both accounts.
Yeah. Because
Gistaki's
the dragon, more
Gistaki's
bodies would not necessarily be a bad thing.
Gistaki is actually surprisingly good at sneaking for his bulk, which you can't say about Rober.
Well, Al isn't too great either with his armor, I believe. Let's see, Alveld is probably not very good either. I don't know.
Yeah, no. The sneak of that gang is, as it turns out, Gistaki, not Deja or Rober, which is a bit surprising, perhaps, but nonetheless true.
Okay. All right. Should we bring them aboard? Big
Yeah,
guy.
we've
I'm
already,
good
we've
with
already
that.
agreed to that. We were already recruiting them.
Yep.
No.
And just to remind me, is Guelmin coming with us to the mine or not?
Oh, absolutely not. But he's going to send a younger dwarf with you, with a cart and beasts of burden who can pull said cart and wait at a strategic distance for you to emerge triumphant from the mines.
Alva does have a question to the dwarves. Why is it illegal to bother the dragon? Or kill the dragon, or try to at least, or something like that?
Guelma is just going to look at you, a deadpan look. Why is it illegal to disturb a dragon? Think once more on that, manling. Why is it illegal to disturb quite passive dragon?
Yeah, but if we kill it, then is it even illegal at that point?
Guelman is just gonna choke on his smoke when you say when we kill him. Young fella, it's a dragon we're talking about, not some little goblin or deer. I don't think any of the things, not even that pretty sword of yours with the gemstone, could do much to put a dent on those dragon scales.
All right.
Just shoot it in the mouth. Just avoid the scales.
Shoot it in the mouth. Of course. Why didn't we think of that?
No, maybe it's all the smoke you're smoking.
Yeah, apparently you just made a very funny joke, according to Guelman the dwarf, about killing dragons.
It is what it is. Shall we? Let's be off then on our little errand. Is there anybody else we'd want to recruit? I don't know. Paramount, do you think there's anybody we might find useful in this expedition?
She's been watching the whole proceedings quite wide-eyed without really knowing. Bartering, everything here is so far out of her expertise and her comfort zone that she's been very quiet and just watching everything unfold while she has her, backpack really, in which that she keeps that head of the sacred one and some flasks of Domona water and so on. And I cannot really think of anyone. I'm surprised we come back here and aside from the arrest and everything, we have not really been charged with anything terribly significant. I thought, where do you think Malik Mangus have gone?
I imagine he'd be at the stronghold up north. And right now, our best way to get to that is to help the dwarves. And the best way to help the dwarves is to get to the mine.
That all makes a lot of sense to me, yes.
What about this evidence? Because we have some very strong evidence against the cult.
What
Should we
evidence
hand it in
exactly?
now? With this? Well,
What evidence?
when we killed the guy, we got this note which kind of said Operation Certain Death, almost go, or something like that. Like,
No, it wasn't Operation Certain Death. It was Operation Death's End.
oh, I'm sorry. It rhymes with. It was a pretty ominous sounding plan. It wasn't like Operation camping with camping with strawberries and cream. This was pretty nefarious. This was a pretty nefarious sounding plan. And we had some evidence and whatnot, and then we ran off to the north before we could. But now we've been cleared. It might be a good moment to, maybe, I don't know, let someone in on it? Or do you think there's somebody we could trust about this? Maybe that guy that interrogated us?
He is the one who's going to get the evidence if you're going to turn anything in. He's obviously in charge right now.
Yeah. What is it? Is there a handout of that? Of the Operation Certain Death?
No, there isn't. I
remember
haven't
it.
actually uploaded that. We'll get onto that for the... Yeah, remind me to next session.
Yeah, it seemed to be pretty tight evidence of what's going on. So... Anyway.
It's evidence of what exactly? It's evidence of a bunch of religious fanatics who are preparing for a big religious event in their little cult. There's nothing in there saying, we're going to destroy Tricoria, or we're going to betray Tricoria, or anything like that. They just, we have done preparations, and it's time. All the preparations are completed. That's basically the gist of it, but yeah.
Yeah, all the preparations are completed, and for what did they call it again? Operation Certain Death, or something else.
Death's End. Which
Okay,
for
Death's
yeah,
End.
but you could present it to Bronze the Kelvin. Let's see how he reacts.
What do you guys think? Do we want to hold on to it and just?
Well, the most significant part of it is probably the encoded list of informers. Isn't there a list of everybody who reports to the Shaggy Lights?
Oh yeah, you do have a coded list of that. Yes, it's coded. So you have to decipher the coding.
Okay, something. Yeah, I guess we didn't have to try and figure out how to decipher.
Deciphering. What skill would I put that on under this? Languages, perhaps?
Oh, then Halville shall have a go at deciphering. If possible. If you'll give it a go. Just a straight roll?
Make it Bane, because it's a tricky cipher. Whoever did this was... Malik Mangus is many things, but he's not dumb. Aha! Says Halveld. It turns out that they have a long range of informers in town. A lot of names that you don't really recognize. But a couple of names actually do ring familiar. One is Shulaban Addertongue. He's on the list. The fellow with the lisp, if you recall. Who's that?
Shulaban?
What was that?
The guy we killed. Or didn't die. Flew off. Who's Shalaban again?
Shalaban, he was the guy who led Deja and Gistaki and Rober to the tombs. You know, the guy who took the crown, the king's crown.
Yeah, okay. No,
Wild,
exactly. Okay.
Wild later punched him in the face, or tried to, and managed to punch himself in the face.
Yeah.
Which was a bit sad, but an attempt was made. And also Mosca. The actual jester right here.
Joker jester. Okay,
Yeah,
that's interesting.
He's well paid. He's getting more pay than Shalaban for whatever reason.
He gets the juicy news. Yeah, nobody pays attention to him while he's hopping around the tables. He quickly looks around to make sure he's not hopping around their table.
Okay.
Oh dear.
Since you're asking, roll an awareness check. Let's see.
Shouldn't have said that.
You shouldn't have said that. Alertness, awareness, whatever the skill is called in this system. Someone succeeds. Aha! You know what? He is jumping around very close to the table.
Should we maybe move on to another area, a different area, to discuss things further?
Oh, wait, would you have told us this at this point once you deciphered it?
No, I don't think so, but that's how it is now. Maybe he's looking at it and suddenly he's had a eureka moment, and he's then suddenly got the list out. And he's, wait a minute, this is these people. He got the key or something.
Yeah.
But now he realizes Mosca is close by. So how about we move on and then we go delve deeper into this list?
How about you do that?
Oh dear, he's rolling dice secretly again.
Not at all.
Sure, it's completely benevolent.
Yes, yes it is.
All right.
Just to see if the dragon died of a heart attack before we get there.
Where?
The dragon is also an informer. I did not see that coming. They got everyone. Kirov, you okay with it just moving out? Let's say to I don't know, it's a different area or whatever, and discussing things in a more private environment.
Yeah, because we have rooms here, don't we?
Do we have rooms here?
I don't know. Is this?
Yeah, you have a door. You have beds in a dorm here.
Yeah, it's in a,
There's a dorm. And there's obviously cost to the dorm. Gear,
Yeah.
services. Yeah, you cough it up.
that's all right. We can
Well,
call it.
since we have such an obscene amount of money, should we just buy a house?
We buy the door. Yeah, oh, yeah, buy it.
You have to pay 1 silver per person here, which is 1, 2, 3, 4 silver. How could you possibly afford it?
It's
It
a
might
mystery.
actually be 2 silver because it's the only place in town. Are we gonna... You wanted to buy a house?
Not now. Maybe on our way
There's
back. 'Cause that
so
seems like
few
too much.
so few things we were left that we could spend money on. I couldn't think of anything else we could use it for.
That's maybe fair.
Yeah, but if we let Kirov do it, then he's gonna raise the rents, and he's gonna. Everyone's gonna be homeless. He's gonna own all the homes. Everyone's gonna be homeless because they can't afford the rents. It's gonna be a disaster. But it is also a good point. Yeah, we do have money to burn there. Yeah, I don't know. That would actually be pretty cool to have our own place. Actually, thinking about it, Halville has all these scrolls, and that means with a house he can have even more scrolls. And a desk, with a light and lots of quills. Ooh, okay. Yeah, Kirov, get the house. Yeah.
Aren't you supposed to return from Arham when the convoy leaves? There's like a week left or something. Week or two. You're gonna stay here over summer?
I trust Kirov can flip the house. He can get it done.
Okay. Okay, since you're going that way, I need to check. Oh, Jesus Christ. Why are we doing this way? You guys and your idea.
I don't know, depending on how much it would actually cost, maybe we could buy that dead merchant's house.
He was actually residing in the house of Bodeville Scoffer, who is a representative of one of the merchant houses. No.
To buy your house. Brilliant.
Buy a house.
Kirov sensitivity.
I'm not saying you can't buy a house, but I am saying that since you started this now, I need to look it up here. It's my players. I thought they were just going to head straight down to the mine and do things there. But nope, now we're buying a house in Arham.
If for no other reason, because we can't carry this much heavy metal at once.
Yeah, I'd like to organize a few viewings, just to see a few things, and then maybe discuss.
Viewing.
But also,
And it has to be during the right time of the day, so we have a good light in the house, so we know what we're buying.
Okay.
while we're thinking about the possible uses for the list, we could also pass it on to the resistance so they know who is dodgy as well.
Let's see who else is on the list. I'm actually curious. Who else is on the list? Is anybody from the Resistance on the list? Let's just get the rest of the list out in the open, in secret.
You don't know who's part of the Resistance, so that's possible for you to tell.
No, okay, I'm not saying that. But then we know two people, right? Or the one person, the son of the innkeeper.
Yes, that's about all. Yes.
Oh, all right.
He's
it's
not
small
on the
resistance.
list.
Okay. All right. Who else? I mean,
On the list.
is there anybody of interest? What's of interest? He's on the list.
You don't recognize the names, so no. But
Okay.
that's only because you don't
Well,
recognize the names.
Does Perina do I recognize the names?
Oh yeah, she can identify quite a few people. The farmer there, the merchant there, the
No.
fishmonger
Well,
here.
I think it's important for her to know because they're the ones that massacred her
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely.
clients, so she knows who's operating for them. They may not. These people may not know how bad, how evil they are. The Shagalax.
Melobin is definitely on the list.
Okay.
Who?
Melobin.
Melobin.
Yep. He was an apprentice, apparently.
Was the traitor druid, right?
Oh, Paramus
Yes.
Order. Oh, is that the guy who ran off? The guy we saw. He ran off.
Yep, that one. Done.
Okay. That's interesting.
Okay, let's see now. How much was the dang? Let's see. You want? God's heaven. This is. Okay, where is that then?
And I want to.
I'm aiming you because you're talking about buying an actual house.
And,
Lots of money
on
is the
on south
answer.
side.
Lots of
Yeah,
money,
okay.
apparently. Yeah.
We are just like the Harry Enfield character, loads of money.
Right. Dang it. Yeah, okay. How much is an actual castle? I don't know.
You're allowed to just make it up on the spot, storyteller. I'll let you. I'll allow it.
Are
just
we
pretend
moving
you see
on
it in
to
the-
the actual mine now, or are we doing the rest of the afternoon just house chasing?
I think we
Very
should go off
tempting.
to the mine.
Okay.
It's just a question, are we actually restricted in how much weight we can carry because of all the gold we have?
Yes.
Boy. This is like Kiro's dream, isn't it? You can't move because you have too much money.
Yep.
You could buy very expensive things with the money. You could always sell it later or something. I don't know.
You can.
Actually,
The
I
whole
would
point
like to
with
buy
the
something.
dwarves and the cart is that the cart will take the mercury barrels, so you don't have to work on that. So you don't have to worry about your own loads. But that was clear.
Yeah. No. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Crossbows, like I have a light crossbow. Do regular crossbows have like strength requirements, or?
I think so.
Oh, okay. Then I can't use them. I have no strength.
Crossbow
okay.
has a strength requirement of 7.
Yeah, that's perfect because I have 7.
Yeah. A hand crossbow is also a 7. The heavy crossbow has a strength requirement of 13.
Yeah. No. Okay, that's not gonna. I don't do hand crossbows. I have a vow of not using those. Okay. All right. All right. Should we do the dragon thing first? If the dragon wakes up and burns the whole town, then we bought a house from nothing.
Clearly.
That would be so us.
And we can get a house at fire sale prices.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's already on fire.
Oh my. I guess. What are we
Hero,
doing?
Can we get going?
Okay, we
To
can
the,
get there. Woohoo!
I need to make sure. Kira, you okay with it? Moving on.
And do we want to buy Gistaki a new suit of armor, or do we want him quiet for the infiltration?
That is a good question. See, all these questions have to be answered before you go, don't they?
At least if we
Well,
buy
you're gonna be
Gistaki
wearing
some
your
new armor, that's at least 50 gold we'd like to buy.
That
Okay.
is true.
Well, I think it would be perfect, right? I don't know. What use would he be with armor fighting a dragon?
He gets to absorb some of the damage incoming from the dragon, hopefully?
Yeah, okay. If that would... Oh, yeah, okay. You'd be less dead immediately. Okay. But yeah, no, fine. Let's get him some armor. If we'd already agreed to do it, then we'll just get him the armor, and then we're not going to be super quiet with a large group anyway.
Yeah.
He can just not wear it if we definitely need to go stealth.
Yeah, I guess so.
So are we buying that armor for Gistaki or not? I'm so confused right now.
Yeah, we'll
we
get
are.
him the armor.
Okay. We're gonna get him the armor. Which, of course, you're gonna get from the dwarves, because they're the local blacksmiths, aren't they? Alright. They will charge you. Who's gonna do the trade? Oh, we know who does the trading, don't we?
Yeah.
In fine clothes, too.
Yeah.
Look at that. Okay, you succeed with the dragon. That is not bad at all. Alright. Do skills. Core skills. Bartering. You roll a dragon. The price is halved. So, good for you. So, we go to armor. And you wanted a set of... What armor do you want? Plate armor costs 500 gold. Divided by 2 would be 250. I think that's actually more than even you can afford.
How much gold do we have on us total?
96 on Grotto. Grotto has 68.
I have 21.
I've got 100.
And Halvild has 19.
It seems. Wait, is there a step down from plate?
Oh yeah, chainmail. Also, Parima has some coin. But I haven't recorded it here for whatever reason. Because there was some
since
coin
we've
in
already
her.
succeeded with the dragon, this is the biggest. The more expensive the thing is, the bigger the discount as well.
Yes, it is. Yeah. She, in her treasure keep, you remember the chest that you located underneath the temple, right? There was not just... She shared some of that with you. But there was not just the bags of... There was also not just the little gold dragon statue. There was also actual coinage. And she has parted with some of that, but I guess she could part with some more if you want her to. Because
We said we were going to get him some armor, but plate mail? Really?
it's up to you how much you want to spend. Deidre is a
Looks
very
like a lot.
kind soul and is offering to... Because this is a mission from the gods, after all. Having plate mail on has some limits on sneaking.
Chainmail as well.
Yes. So does studded leather. The only armor that doesn't limit your sneaking is, in fact, leather.
If we put Gistaki in full plate, would he essentially become nearly invincible and we could just all hide behind him?
No, not invincible. Why can't I move the right stuff here? Gear, armor, where did it go? Come on, there. So, plate armor is worth 6. So it absorbs 6 damage, and if you, on top of that, put a great helm, that's 2 more. So that's going to be 8 points of absorption. But it costs 600 gold in total for both. You have negotiated down the plate armor to 250, or whatever armor you want to buy for 250, instead of 500. But the plate armor gives Banes on acrobatics, evade, and sneaking.
For like
how
chainmail.
much does the chainmail cost?
Chainmail is a good deal less expensive. That's only 50 gold without the haggling. So 25 for that roll.
I'm just thinking that if we bought the full plate, we've functionally saved 250.
Yes, yes you have.
That's how they get you, huh? Make
And-
you thinking about all the savings you'll be doing.
And because Parama is too kind for her own good, she would offer to front the sum because there was a lot of coin in the temple and she has it in her backpack. As much as she could possibly carry, at least. Apparently not that much. There we go. Yeah. So she would offer to front some of that. She could front all of it, really. This is a sacred mission, and I don't want it to have to go out of your pockets. It should be out of the pockets of the temple first. Call it her weakness, if you will. Not that she gets XP for weakness, giving into her weakness, but yeah.
Shall we just turn Gistaki into our tank?
Okay. If we can afford it, then why not?
Very well. She's paying 250 gold coins for Gistaki to have plate armor. I can tell you right now that Rober he's been jumping around as you're out there by the smithy together with the dwarves, and he's been like, of course, it's very necessary with this sturdy fella. You need to have the strongest man in the thickest armor, don't you? Without that, it's just sound investment, innit? And Gistaki is just, thank you so much, my lady Parama. I don't know what to say, and he looks genuinely bashful, as the dwarves will equip him with the plate armor. Did you want a helm to go with that? There is open...
How much is the helm?
There's either open helmet or a great helm, and the open helmet is 12 gold, and the great helm is 100. Before haggling.
I will try the haggle.
Wow, Kirov, really?
Okay, I will try that again.
I need to succeed with this. Okay, so it's not a dragon this time, which means that you're not gonna haggle the price down quite that much, but it is a success nonetheless, which means that you're haggling it down by 20%. So instead of 100, it's gonna be 80. And once again, Parama is too nice for her own good, and will front the sum. She has now spent how much of her own gold from the temple's own riches, and you haven't spent a single coin. I'm sure you're feeling proud of yourselves for pitching into this. But you know what? Kirov letting Parama spend all that was supposed to go to the restoration of the temple and recruitment and all that sort of thing, that plays into his greed, doesn't it? So check mark for that, I guess. Now Gistaki has full plate and a great helm, and that is a total of 8 points of absorption. So you need to do 9 points of damage, or find a weak spot before he takes a single point of damage.
And I guess while we're armoring up our second squad, do any of the others need any extra gear?
I might upgrade chainmail too, I guess.
Now that you
Since we're throwing
mention
down
it,
money.
Robert does not need anything more in terms of armor. He already has leather. But Oh, you wouldn't know it by looking at me, would you? He says, and he bends forwards a little bit. But we're on the smithy now, aren't we? Why are we having the tavern picture here? We're in the smithy, and that should be properly accounted for, shouldn't it? There we go. Guelmin and Halveld and Kirov and Wild and everyone else. You wouldn't know it by looking at me, says Rober, but fact of the matter is, I'm actually rather handy with a sword. If you could spare a coin or two, I would be much obliged. He says.
Was that a sword he wants?
Yeah.
How big a sword can he handle?
Oh, let's see. Swords and knives are usually the sort of thing I try to use when I have to defend myself. He can handle... You can handle a broadsword. And a broadsword would set you back 12 gold, that's all. Cheap, right?
It's about to be less than that.
Clearly. Alright. So we said 12. So 9.5 gold. 9 gold and 6 silver, to be specific. Poor Parama, she's just shelling out for everyone, isn't she?
You don't need anything?
So Robert thus gets a broadsword. Good for him. Thank you, my lady. Thank you, oh wise Parama, he says, and bows very deeply. Deidre is just gonna say, not for me, thank you. I have my dagger, and that is fine.
Right, so we've
Yeah,
put the
it
entire
was for
shopping
me to
spree
get-
on somebody else's credit card. Now we can go.
Yeah.
Exactly. Alright, yeah, poor Parama's credit card. When she came in here, she had 500 gold or something, and now she's down to 160. There's still riches up at the temple. She only brought as much as she could carry. Alright. The time is now time to go, isn't it? Did you have... You haven't had your meal yet. Are you gonna take rations? Or are you gonna buy something at the tavern?
We can get something from the tavern to save the rations, I think.
This time, Parama is not paying because everybody is expected to pay for themselves.
Yeah.
So there. Alright, services. What are we eating at the tavern? A bowl of stew for a silver. A feast for 5 gold.
Get a thing of soup.
Bowl
A
of
stew.
stew for a silver. Alright. So, Halveld has paid a silver to eat. Kirov has also paid a silver to eat. He's down to 99 gold and 9 silver. And Wild has paid a silver to eat. You're ready to go and have an adventure, aren't you? Uh-huh. We're gonna leave from the smithy together with a younger dwarf who's driving that cart, and I guess you're all on the said cart as he's driving out of Arhem. Aren't you? I feel like this has taken a while. Like, your shopping shenanigans.
We've been away from town for a while, so we just need to do a bit of town life.
Town life, yeah. So I guess you're leaving. You're gonna have shift of traveling in the evening, as it were, which is still nice and light outside because you're so far north that you have light to travel in the evening as well. You do not have to have a pathfinder because the dwarf is doing it for you. But yeah, it's gonna be a journey south up into the mountains, and you will finally be faced with it. The thing you never thought you would witness. The place that you never knew would claim your very lives, or would it? There we go. You're down here on the path, basically. And this is the view you have in front of you. A mountainside with a tower over here on the other side of the little gully, and another tower up here, and the actual opening into the mine itself. Also, some kind of opening with smoke coming out of it from the mountain itself, and a signaling fire on top. Now, the dwarf will not follow you around the bend here. As you get close enough, he's just going to stop the cart and look at you and go, "Oi, this is as far as I can go because of the law. We don't want to disturb the dragon, and we do not want to violate Draconian law. But you, ladies and gentlemen, you're all outsiders, aren't you? Except for you, young Pedima. So you can, I'm sure, find your way around. Hey?"
I suppose we could have just gotten lost.
That could be a good way of explaining it. That tower over yonder, and points towards this tower on the far side of the gully there. That's where the Draconian guards sit. So I would advise not getting too close to that place. But I do believe that the office building that Master Gwelman spoke of might be found in the tower on the side of the mountain there. It used to belong on the mountainside. It used to belong to the mining complex, as far as I know. But that's all I can tell you about it, Lily. Good luck to y'all.
Wait, so the guard are actually in a tower watching the mountain?
Yes. Yes, they are. Of course they are. If the Dracorians have said it's illegal to approach the mine, why wouldn't they have a guard
Wow.
watching
No, it's
over
illegal
the
to
mountain?
disturb the dragon, but I'd imagine it was just okay, if this is like they built a tower just to watch them, I'm like, okay, these guys are pretty serious. Alright. Okay.
You thought it would be easy to sneak in?
Stay off my lawn. Okay, yeah, no, this was a bit more. I was not expecting. Holy cow. Okay.
You're not used to Mr. Gronstrom's writing yet, clearly.
Yeah, exactly. So what is number 2, 3, and 5 on the map then?
Number 2 is the main entrance, like this
Okay.
big. Yeah. Number 3 is basically a hole in the mountain, maybe a ventilation hole or something. You can see smoke coming out of it anyway. And number 5 is a bonfire, a signal beacon, if you will.
Is that being maintained by the guards?
Do you have a spyglass?
I don't. I asked the dwarf. Does he know? I'm sure.
Oh, the dwarf. I'd imagine so.
Oh, bloody hell. Okay, this is it. Okay. So, hang on. Where do you guys expect us to extricate these barrels without the guard or the dragon noticing?
I can't say. That's up to you to figure out.
Good grief.
The
Alright.
dwarf's like
Alright.
absolutely nonplussed. Hashtag someone else's problem.
This is like becoming like Ocean's 11, like it's dragon based on.
Yes, it is. Welcome to the heist.
Oh God.
Since we're currently behind this ridgeline and out of sight of the tower, can we approach up like the back side of the hill, trying to do the ping, but it's not doing it.
Yeah, I see it.
Sort of under where the distance measure is, and then just come up over the hill, just over the hill somewhere like above where the number 1 is. So we can just pop up straight behind the tower and get into the tower from the back, hopefully without ever having line of sight on the guard tower across the valley.
You can certainly try.
Hang on, why can't we write? Where's the squiggly? Where's my ability to do squiggly lines on the map here? If you remove it,
There is no ability like that for players. For reasons. Couldn't tell you why.
What?
But
Outrageous.
yes, it is.
Okay.
Measurement controls.
Yeah,
No.
Yeah, no, exactly. Okay,
Right,
so we go up the
yeah.
hill, like behind the hill here, like what Kira, I think that's what Kira says, right? And we come
Yep.
over this ridge here.
Yeah. Make it as short as
Alright.
possible and just sneak to the tower.
Yeah, and then we have to solve a riddle, get in, and then we have to teleport out with the barrels somehow. Let's see. Should we do this at night? Should we do this all at night? Because then sneaking in and sneaking out would be much easier.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Do any of us have any like dark sight or any equivalent like that?
Nope. I'm gonna put the counter over here for now, just to mark. But you're obviously below the ridge line here.
Yeah.
This is adventurers sneaking up along the opposite slope to lie down and just peek over and get a lay of the
Yeah.
land.
But
Scouting
isn't
that.
town on the other side, like back here, so everyone in town can see us climbing up the hill? Is that what's going
That's
on?
several kilometers away, so don't worry about
Oh,
that.
okay. Yeah, exactly. We're all lined up here on the ridge line, arguing.
Yes,
Let's see.
that's exactly what you're doing.
Yeah, I don't know. I know getting in is easier than getting out with barrels. You guys have
Nah, I don't know what you're talking about.
any ideas? Yeah. Can we see the guards? How many guards are there? Up here, can we see this? Whoever is up here?
Roll some rolls here. Do you have any spyglasses? You don't have any spyglasses. That's the one thing you forgot to buy.
I do. Look at this. I have a spyglass.
Nice. All right. Roll on. What is it called again in this game? Alert awareness. Yes. No. Spot hidden. Actually, spot hidden. That's what we want to go with here. Awareness is
Spyglass
more-
gives me a boon on bushcraft rolls when leading the way. Okay. That's
Okay.
interesting.
I'm gonna allow you to roll a spot hidden check because you have the spyglass this time because you're like spying and okay.
Oh, look at that. You're up showing off there.
Yeah.
Oh, me too. We're both
Both of
showing
you
off.
are taking turns with the spyglass here, and yeah. I'm also going to allow you to roll a sneaking check with 2 boons because you're far away and only your head is visible. But there's always the risk that the glass in the spyglass will reflect the rays of the sun and give you away.
Not for Ninja Halveld.
No, not for Ninja Halveld at all. All right. Yeah. You can't really be okay. This is gonna be a shift of you guys just spying on the place, gathering intelligence, right? That's what it's gonna be. Who knows if the dragon is even at home right now? The dragon might not be at home. You don't know that. The dragon might be out flying somewhere, or not out flying, or that sort of thing.
Maybe the smoke rising from number 3 is just the guards smoking an unholy amount of weed.
It could be, yeah. Or not.
Is this a world where weed
Is there
exists?
like a vacant, is there like a not in sign?
There's
so we
definitely
see
smokables in this world, yes. Yes. But you would appreciate the number of soldiers. It's not going to be a very large collection, honestly. It's a station, I should say. It's not going to be a large number of soldiers stationed here. There might be, just by counting on the number of who go up to the bonfire or the people who are outside and just loitering. They seem to be very lazy, these soldiers. This is apparently not a very dramatic posting. And by your reckoning here, it's maximum 10 soldiers. Probably half a dozen, like 6 or so. This is like a sergeant's command at most. Yeah, so say half a dozen, if even that.
Okay.
There is supposedly... Elvel, why don't you roll an intelligence checks for me? Because I'm asking you to.
I'm sorry, what did you want?
Intelligence, please.
Intelligence. Oh, easy.
Is it, though?
Oh, this guy really is pretty damn intelligent. Aha.
You do recall from that speech that the Procurator's Herald gave, there's supposed to be some kind of Master of Dragon lore stationed here to watch over the dragon as well. Some person called Trodex Draconicus.
Ooh. Ooh, Halville wants to speak with him. Okay, you guys do the robbery. Halville will go hang with him and get some information. And keep them distracted and safe while you guys... sneaky stuff. Oh dear, Halville's been torn.
Speaking to a Master of Dragon lore or stealing from a dragon. I know it's not an easy choice.
Yeah, Halville would like the lore. Stealing from a dragon. It's only money. It's not... But, oh,
true.
We'll do that later.
Let's go. I'm going to put down some Tricorian soldiers here and maybe a couple up here, so you know they're there. Some kid is running around down there as well, and a dog. They're just working on the sheep, taking care of the sheep. There are some sheep around here. Shepherd boy taking care of them. We're waiting for dark, apparently. That's what it sounds like to me.
If we can just get into the tower and be out of sight, we've got like a base to operate from while we figure this out.
Indeed. Alright, so it's time to do a sneak check, isn't it? You do have the cover of darkness to give you a boon for the sneaking, and the fact that you are quite far away from everything else here. I don't know why this is, because, yeah, we're not seeing this in 3 dimensions, but it's easily more than 100 yards to the actual guard tower, and maybe it's 100-ish yards to the beacon, as it were. So I guess I can give you another bonus die on your sneak roll for that. But everybody has to roll, don't they?
Gistaki better not be wearing his clanking armor.
Okay, Gistaki is wearing his clanking armor. I don't understand, sir. I thought I was supposed to be wearing this to inside the... Wait.
Yeah, I'm sure it takes a long time to get in and out of.
He says...
Well, so how many boons do we have total then?
2.
2. Right.
Yeah. Wouldn't you know it? Gistaki succeeds on his sneaking check. Oh, okay. I should probably reveal
boons,
that.
Right?
What was that?
2 boons?
Yep.
I'm not so sure about this. Aha! I've succeeded.
Hey!
Aha! You've succeeded. Only just. Now here comes the problem. Your friend, Deja Damagi, is not very good at sneaking, unfortunately. So she needed those 2 boons. Why am I rolling in secret? I don't know. There we go.
Now,
She
any
Force the
succeeded.
habit for you, I guess.
She succeeded.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huzzah.
Perima is also not a master sneak because she is used to dealing with people fair and square. Also, she is dazed. Why is she dazed? Didn't she have a
It's-
proper night's sleep? She had a proper night's sleep. I
Did she
think she
fall over?
Yeah.
Did she trip or something? I don't know.
I don't think so. I think that the daze was from before, the day before, and I just haven't updated her. So there we go. Okay, that's both a demon and a dragon at once. So we'll call it the dragon evenly. Yeah. She is not gonna. And we had Rober as well. Everybody's sneaking. You have a big retinue by now, don't you? He is not very good at sneaking either. But thanks to the double boon, he just about makes it. There's going to be a little bit of clatter of stone here and there, but not so much as to actually alert anyone. You're moving quietly down to the foot of the guard tower, as it were. Oh my! That means that we have to change maps, don't it?
Oh no, we've succeeded. I didn't expect to get this far.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
We're closer to the dragon now.
Now you're all gonna die, but it's all gonna be fine, right? Let me just check things here. There. All right. So, we have a rober. Why is this? Why did I? Oh, because we're in fact. Yeah, that makes sense. Never mind. Things that make sense and things that don't make sense. So rober. Daedra. Gistaki. Perima. There's more NPCs than PCs in this group, I'm just saying. Though I know that a player will be joining again soon. Isn't that nice?
Yeah, look, when the dragon comes after us, we just run each in every our own direction, and we have a 1 in 7
Yeah.
chance. No.
Exactly, that's why you're doing this. Alright. Okay, I need to recalibrate this so that we have actual global lightning going on here. There we go. It's dark, but here's a set of stairs. So basically what you have above you, it's a round tower, but there's only like half of the tower that you can actually see because the rest of the tower is like baked into the mountain, if you will. So you can see it's half circle then, with a stair going all the way up to the door, basically. And the only way to get up there is, it seems, to walk up the stairs. In full view of the guards downstairs, down on the other side of the gully. Don't know how you want to do this exactly. If we're taking cover, perhaps, maybe we're taking cover more. So,
Are we doing this at night?
yes. Aren't you doing it at night? You said you were sneaking during the cover in the cover of darkness.
So then they can't see us, right?
Hopefully. I'm just saying that the angle of this set of stairs here is so that you are in full view of the tower down below. But yes, there is darkness and there is distance, so maybe you can redo your sneaking,
No
your
smoking, anyone. No
feat
smoking,
of
everyone.
sneaking. So yeah, no smoking, anyone.
Yeah.
No, do we have a grappling hook we can try and throw into an upper window to try and climb up that way?
That might work. Who has a grappling hook and a rope? And also, will it make
I
noise
have a
if you
grappling
miss?
hook.
Will it make noise
And
if you
rope.
miss? You might be able to even climb up to the windows. But now that your eyes have been accustomed to the dark, you will notice that each of the windows are actually barred. So you'd have to do something to open the strong steel bars of the windows.
Oh, for Pete's sake. What is ISIS? Oh my god.
Like they don't want us to get in.
I get the feeling that, yeah, this is highly illegal what we're doing.
Close, yeah.
I wasn't expecting to be this determined.
Alright, what about if Kirov's a good sneak, or a decent sneak at least, if he goes up the stairs, tries the door, and can at least see what the state of things are up there, and then if he can get the door open, you can follow up after him, or maybe he can try lowering a rope or something else.
Yeah, that's an excellent plan. Halvard will lend you he has advanced lockpicks, so you can use those. He'll give them to you, so in case you need to do any lockpicking.
Is the stairs
First,
in
Kiro.
here?
Yeah, the stairs are over there. First, Kiro, I want you to roll that stealth check with 2 boons again. As you're trying to not attract attention going upstairs. Sneakily, as it were. You needed those 2 boons, didn't you? Like, walking up the stairwell and looking down towards that tower, trying to move really... Because the human eye is adapted to noticing movements. You're going slowly. But once you're almost going over the edge and falling down all the way, it's just a 15-yard fall from the top of the stairs down to the ground below, which also slopes downwards. So I'm sure you're not going to hurt yourself at all. As you come up to the actual top of the stairwell, and you can see what's in front of you, it's a very sturdy door, probably made out of oak or similar tree. It's completely blackened, though. It's dark anyway, but it's not going to be super dark. It's not going to be pitch black like in the winter, because it's Marjura. You have a little bit of lingering, like, bluish light, if you will. This black as soot door has steel bindings to make it even more secure. And the lock in question it's internal to the door and probably going to be a bit complicated. There's a window to the right of the door. You could climb to it fairly easily, but again, bars. And yeah, this door is not going to be easy to pick.
I don't have great sleight of hand, but I've got the extra lockpick, so how does this work boon and bane wise?
You also are a human being, which means that you're adaptive, so you can switch from your sleight of hand to something else. Sometimes I need to remind human players of this enormously useful ability that comes with just being a human.
Okay, so I guess evade.
Evade is an excellent skill. Okay. You're going to evade troubles, apparently. So you're going to have... How many banes can I even give you? I'm going to give you 3 banes, because this is an extremely difficult luck to pick. And then you get a boon for your luck picks.
And how much willpower damage do I take for doing the adaptive thing?
You take 3 points of willpower damage. You're like focusing, concentrating, getting a slight headache, all that stuff.
Okay, so 1 boon and did you say 3 banes?
Yes, this is a Dwarven made lock. It's very sophisticated. Well, isn't that unfortunate? I think you've just broken the lockpicks. Too bad, Halveld. Lockpicks, no more.
I'll pretend I didn't hear that.
Yeah, you're like, and this was an interesting roll because you had, on the one hand, you had the 20. On the other hand, you had the 1. So
Oh, God, look at that. They've already been removed from my character sheet. That was quick. Okay, God is
Yes.
quick these days.
yes. So you're like putting in, and you're like, I got it, goes Kirov, and then clank, and
Oh, dear.
I haven't got it. And all that you have left is like the ruined lockpick, and you're like, oh, shoot.
All right. Well, I guess we'll have to go back then. We tried. We did our best. Sorry, dwarves. We've done all we can.
Okay, what about the possibility of, say, using the pickaxe like a crowbar to just wedge it in and then try and just quietly, but like brute force the door open?
Crowbar. 2d8 damage against a door or a wall without risk of being damaged. Hits automatically. You can do that.
Do you see any... Do you hear any downsides to that?
It's just a matter of time, really. And the number of time will expose you to the guards more. Because it's going to take a while. I'd say it's going to take probably most of the night, actually. Let's see now. If it's a stretch is 15 minutes, right? Yeah, that's pretty much a full shift. A full shift of work to get it open. Just because you're doing damage with a pickaxe. Why don't you roll a crafting check? You're good at crafting. Just to evaluate the properties of the door, Kiro. Because that doesn't take that long. You're just investigating it, aren't you?
Bad.
It's going great here. It's going great, you guys. Kirov will identify that this door is very formidable, and he also becomes very angry. Anyone looking can see small puffs of smoke coming out of his ears as he gets angry. You're looking over this thing, frustration rising inside you as you're trying to understand the door. Definitely Dwarven make, absolutely formidable. It's created to keep people out by dwarves who were very determined and expert craftsmen. The lock, as you've already determined, is very difficult to pick. The door can probably take a couple of hundred of hit points worth of damage, and your pickaxe does about 2d8 damage to the door every time you're applying that. You hit it automatically, obviously. So we're talking about a good shift's worth of work to get through it, and it's gonna make noise. So
Let me climb up to the window to see what it actually looks like inside. Maybe I'll do that.
we have some other sleight of handers around us here, don't we? But we don't have anyone who is good with anyone who has lockpicks left, right? Those have been spent, very sadly. I'm a bit surprised, honestly. I thought some of these others would have good sleight of hand, but they don't. None of them have good sleight of hand.
I've got blacksmithing tools. Could I repair the lockpicks?
You can, actually.
Okay, so yeah, so I'll come down. I'll come back like behind the tower where nobody can see me,
Yeah.
and I'll try and repair the lockpicks while somebody else tries to get in.
All right. That's actually not a bad idea. Of course, you can't open a forge here or anything. You'll have to use your tongs and try to maybe straighten them out with pliers and a hammer and hope that nobody hears it. To do it quiet-like, I'm going to give you a bane on the crafting check, but you do get a crafting check. Everything has to happen quietly. This is Oceans. This is Halveld's 7. Or is it Perma 7? I don't even know anymore. It succeeds, Kirov. Who is the one who's trying to sleight of hand the door right now? Somehow. Perma can try
I can
with...
try.
Okay, you want to try? First, of course,
Sure,
you
I'll
have
try.
to roll a sneaking check with...
Sneak.
Yeah, 2 boons and your
Two
the
boons?
bane. Yeah, you get
Okay.
the bane for the studded leather, but you also have the two boons for
Yep.
darkness and far away. Well, that works. So you're now upstairs
Alright.
by the door. And roll a sleight of hand check with 3 banes. Because you don't even have...
Any boons for the... No boons for the lockpick?
No, you don't. You're
This is
doing this
picking up-
while he's fixing the lockpicks.
Oh, well, he's doing that. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm guessing this is taking a while.
Yeah. That failed.
Nope. I will move back down. I'll actually try and climb up to the nearest window.
Yeah.
If I can.
That's a climb with a boon, actually, because it's not very hard to get there.
Here's a climb.
Acrobatics.
Oh, acrobatics. Okay. With a boon, you said?
Yes. That was close.
Okay, yeah. But I made it.
But you made it. You can see into the dark, the dark haze of the room inside the door as you're holding on to the bars. Lots of soot, lots of debris on the floor. There must have been furniture in there once, but it's all just an absolute mess in there now, as far as you can tell with your wolfkin eyes. Meanwhile,
No way
Kirov,
for me to
you're
fit
done.
through the bars at all? Oh, okay.
Kirov is done with your crafting check, so I guess you've repaired the items, haven't you? Advanced lockpicks are back, y'all.
I'll come back and pass them on to whoever wants to try next.
All right. Halveld steps up.
Halvel steps up. Okay.
I have read a book.
Well, you have read a book about this. You'll have to roll the same sneak check as everybody else.
Yeah, that wasn't in the book. He goes back. All right. Sneak check. All right.
2 boons, as per always.
2 boons. Okay.
My sneaking is awful than things that are awful. So I am going to use my ability as a human.
As a human.
I'm going to use as a human. I'm going to use my. You know what?
Adapted.
Oh my god! I have another ability. It's called cheating. Hang on. Let me look at it. Intuition, right?
That
What does it
doesn't,
do again? Where's the description? Wait a minute.
it
That's the
doesn't
cheating
help
one.
you with
Right,
this.
is a good-
It gives
Should-
you
no,
knowledge, not skill checks. So if you want to use something other than your sneaking, like, I don't know, myths and legends, bushcraft, such thing, you'll have to spend 3 willpower points for your adaptive.
Yeah, for adaptive. That's adaptive. But intuition, doesn't that, like, you have to tell me an answer? What was it again? There was like a thing it was a very vague.
It says
But,
so. Right on your abilities there. You just click on intuition and right click on it, and then you left click on the description.
Okay.
When faced with a difficult
When
decision,
faced- This decision, you can activate this ability to ask the question directly and receive a helpful answer. Okay, I am going to do that. Represents your general fast knowledge and can
Of
not
dwarven
reveal everything.
buildings. Of dwarven buildings? I guess? You've
Well, you've
read
done a
all
lot
about
of reading. I
burglary.
mean, are you telling me that I won't be able to use this ability on how to get in, to help us get in?
I'll give you answers. I'm not going to allow you to... You're not going to open the door automatically. I'll just
Alright,
tell you
okay.
about the door and about the tower. That's... You can ask
okay.
about how to proceed, but I'm not going to
No,
open the... That ability does not open locks. It gives you knowledge about... It gives you
I
knowledge.
know,
You can
I know.
ask about the lock's make. You can ask about what does the soot on the door mean, the state of the place, etc., etc.
Alright, okay. Okay, moving along. Alright, moving along. I can always try. I'll use adaptive, and I will... Hang on, what's going on here? I will use it on... Has it been activated?
Yes, it has been.
I do have a
And
question.
I will... Oh, yeah.
Oh no, I gotta finish your thing and then I'll ask.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will use a different skill other than sneaking, and I prefer it to be myths and legends. Is that allowed?
Of course. How are we rationaling? You've read all the stories about the great dragon slayers, right? And
He's
exactly.
read also stories about about
And,
people sneaking and whatever. So
yes, and people breaking into dwarven towers. Towers in general.
Once you see the tower, once you read about a tower, it's all the same, really, isn't it?
And it, yeah. Why don't you give yourself 2 boons for the sneak, for the myths and legends
Okay.
to sneak?
Okay.
This
Two
is
boons?
how-
Yeah, 2 boons and I can eat
2
myth and
boons.
legends. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
This is how
right.
Halbeld becomes a literal ninja.
Okay. Yes. Da da da. Look at that. Okay.
Yes.
I
Halbeld
didn't even
is a
need it.
ninja.
Because I rolled a 1.
Yeah.
All right, and then I'm going to use it again. I'm just going to go all out.
Yeah.
I'm going to use adaptive again
Yeah.
to use myths and legends for my lockpicking.
Indeed. So now you have 3 banes, but you have a boon for the lockpicks.
All right. And 3 banes, and my cat is watching. So my
And your cat is watching and judging you harshly.
Cat is watching.
Harshly.
He is. So that's like now almost an extra boon there. All right.
Yeah, it is.
3, 2, 1. Let's go. What's going on?
It succeeds.
Ah,
How about that? You've read everything about dwarven contraptions, haven't you? Dwarven locks, dwarven things, dwarven, I don't know, locksmithery.
Yeah.
You have unlocked
indeed.
it.
I just
You heard that, didn't you? The click.
the sound of victory.
Yes.
All right, nice. Alva just gives a big smile that no one can see because it's dark.
Yep. And then you open the
and,
door, perhaps.
He'll open the door, yeah, and he'll step in and he'll whisper to Wyatt and Kirov, "I'm going in," and off we go.
Very well.
Uh,
I'm
Right.
guessing that Wild is coming with.
yeah,
Everyone
you'll
run
follow.
I guess we all get inside so we can get out of sight.
Yes.
Yeah.
Of course, now the rest of your group has to succeed with the whole sneaking without being seen at night. And I think Parama is going to be adaptive too. She is a human after all. And she's going to roll a spot hidden check for this. Because that's what she's really good at. And that's a good thing too, because that was a bit close. But she managed to time it just so that she knows when the guards are walking and where they're going, so... Gistaki is actually amazing at sneaking, so he's not going to need to use his adaptive. And it's a good thing he has 2 boons, because the plate armor is clinky there in the dark. Ah! He's gonna push that roll. He is gonna be disheartened and push it.
Okay.
And that's enough for him to actually succeed. He's coming up there and he's just gonna give... No, he's disheartened because he's walking before Deidre, and that makes him very sad because he doesn't want to be away from Deidre. It doesn't take a genius to say that he is absolutely having the biggest crush on Deidre in the history of the world. Like the puppy eyes he makes every time she walks by with those swaying hips of hers. Whew. Yeah. She is also very human, isn't she? So, there we go. Some adaptive, because her sneaking is not that good. She's going to use acrobatics, which makes a bit of sense, doesn't it? And
A lot more than myths and legends, for sure.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So she gets inside too. And finally, Rober, who is also a human and therefore adaptive. He is going to use... I'm not going to say that bluffing really counts so well towards this, but maybe bushcraft does.
Oh, there you go.
There we go. You've all managed to enter the office, as it were, as it once was. I have a feeling we don't want to light any torches yet, do we? Because the light would be seen out the windows.
Yeah.
But you are inside the office, and I can tell you what it looks like from the inside. It's a half circle, obviously, this room. It's the size of the tower. It's about 2 meters in height, so nobody here has any problem standing up. In the left corner, you can see an open, like a fireplace. Right opposite to that is the door where you just came in. And the floor is just absolutely covered by remains of wooden furniture and all sorts of ashes and soot of various kinds. Yeah, there's a lot of ashes, drifts of ashes and such here. But that's not all. There is also, in fact, a door. Yes.
I bet you the store is going to be super squeaky when we open it or something.
Not at all. No doors around here would be squeaky.
What was the thing we got told again? The riddle for how to get where we're going. It's like travel with light and dark or something.
Yep. Walk in heat, walk in dark. Or darkness.
Is there a fireplace?
There is. Do you want to light? It's right here. Do you want to light
I
the
don't want to light
fireplace?
But I want to explore it, see if there's a secret passage there.
Very well. Why don't you roll spot hidden with a bane because it's dark? Actually, it's very dark here, so 2 banes almost. But okay then. It's okay.
Okay, sorry.
You will not be able to find anything like a hidden passageway from this fireplace. But you will find skeletons in the ashes. Charred skeletons, like they're blackened.
In the fireplace?
No, not in the fireplace.
Like they were
they're
burned there?
around the fireplace.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They must have,
Okay.
maybe they were sitting around the fireplace, and as you're walking towards the fireplace to
Okay.
investigate it, you knock over a skull. One of the skeletons has a silver ring on its finger. A silver ring. And there is even a battle axe lying here. Unfortunately, it's only the head because the actual haft is just coal, right? Charcoal.
Let me try putting on the silver ring. Come on, magic rings.
You're gonna just be sacrilegious against the corpse like that? Parma is gonna look at you as you're... We are not here to be robbers of the dead, she says, with disgust in her voice.
I'm not robbing it. I'm just.
You're just what?
Look, I just want to see if it's a magic ring. If it's a normal silver ring, I won't do anything. Or it might be a key.
Perima looks at it. It is not.
But it still might be a key that we're unaware of, so...
Perhaps it could be. Very well. There's some coins lying around here as well. And you know what Rober is looking for. Yeah, he's also literally on the floor checking for things, but he can't find anything in the ashes, very sadly. Because it's just too dark.
Can we go through the door?
Sure.
Yeah,
You
we'll
can.
try it.
Well, that was a bit loud, wasn't it?
That goes through the valley. Hang on, I can't move through this. It's a very small door.
There we go. There you go. I just realized something. I
Okay.
probably haven't updated the coding of this thing to the new system. Very sloppy of me.
Is this a stairwell? Is this a door to a stairwell going
It
up?
is a stairwell going down.
Down? Oh, good. Down is the right direction.
Let me fix that, because I realized that since I had designed this, there's new functionalities
Foundry.
in Foundry. So I actually have to add some stuff here.
Alright.
There we go. So there into there, update, and oh, right, there. Sorry about that. Now it should work. So who wants to walk down this stairwell first in the dark? Of course, now you are away from the door, so you could light a torch, one of you. If that's what you want to do.
I think
How
Halville
much
had
space?
You were both speaking at the same time.
I can't really see well on this map. How much space is there here? Is this just a...
It's
just
a very
stair?
narrow set of stairs, yes.
Yeah. So I guess we go down the stairs. So now we can light a light. And we could consider, once we get down into anywhere there's any space, making camp.
Why don't
Because
we
we've
get
taken quite a
teleported?
bit of like willpower damage and stuff. Now that we're clear from view, we might want to just rest and recharge.
Didn't I code this correctly? Teleport the token. Okay. Apparently it decided not to. There. Add. Update. Now you should get teleported properly. There we go. Kirov is updated. Properly teleported. Don't know why you ended up in that particular spot. That's weird to me, but okay. Okay. I'm gonna have to remove the square grid here because things are not cooperating with me the way I wanted it to. That's where you should be. Don't know why it didn't do that. Stupid machine.
Okay, now that we're definitely in a place that's shielded by sight, I'll light the lantern because this is getting ridiculous. I can't see anything.
Alright, so we will send everyone else over there, won't we? Wild. Whoop. And all the others. Hold on. Gee, what you're walking around here. Let the others come with you as well. Maybe. It gets finicky when I have so many NPCs. Is that all of you? I think that's all of you. Yes. Okay. Oh, I made a mistake. That's okay, though. Yeah. What is actually going on here? Sorry. Everything is confusing. You're actually getting in here. That's where you're getting in. There. God's teeth. Game Master is an idiot. And forgetful and old and all those things. The way a Game Master can be sometimes.
That place with the other place, did you have a distinct Mines of Moria feel? Like the guard room.
Little bit, maybe. Alright. Anyway. Come to me for the best types of adventures, because this is what competent game mastering looks like. Okay. We're coming down here, and there are basically 2 doors in this very narrow little passage.
What did I just open? Apparently I've just opened the broom closet. What is this tiny little place?
It's not a broom closet. It stinks of mold. You could keep brooms in here, but there's just books around here. Just lots and lots of books.
Alright, Halvold, you're up. Kirov isn't even going to fit into this room.
There's also a small chest, in fact.
Since that other door seems to be locked, I'll back up. Halvold can go in.
Halvel, alright. Halveld, are we gonna do another sleight of hand thing?
Alright.
I was thinking he'd just be obsessed by the books, and it's one of the others of us that would have to pick the lock.
He didn't do it. He just used that ability, the adaptive. So anyone else could use it and use the lock picking for it.
Yes, but I'm talking about the books. Are we checking out the books?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, they're books. He's checking them out.
Roll languages.
Languages. Okay, I am going to get distraught that I cannot read. There you go. Haha.
Haha! You can read something.
Yeah.
These are accounting books. When so much mercury has been extracted from the ores, the veins, so and so much has been purified, so and so much has been traded to such and such. One of the books is written in code.
Okay.
Also, Halveld, would you please roll me a spot hidden check with a bane. With a bane.
Okay, interesting. Let's see with the Bane. Ah.
Behind the books, there is a secret hatch that opens up, revealing a small chest. It's almost like you're dungeon crawling or something.
Yeah. All right. Okay. I shall inspect the chest for anybody good at looking for traps or whatever, or is that just spot hidden? Or
Yeah, it's spot hidden too. Yeah.
all right, we'll look
You
for
haven't
traps.
seen
Do I
any
need to roll, or is
traps.
that...
Oh, you can do a spot hidden check on the chest to find out if has any traps. That is a classic, isn't it?
Aha!
It does not.
I've read about those.
But it is also locked, much like the door behind you. Maybe while you have been in the closet here, has tried to do a sleight of hand check on the door.
I would say that. With the lockpicks.
Depends on whether you get them loaned to you from Halveld or not.
He wants a retainer now because they got damaged last time. So
All
no, yeah, you can loan them, sir. Go for it.
right. That means that you get a boon on your check for sleight of hand.
Any banes on this one?
No. No banes on this one.
Okay. Alright, come on. No. I'll become angry and I'll try again. Why not?
You will hear Rober. Are you finding anything interesting in there? Anything coin-wise, valuable, anything? Look at that. The door goes click. I should have coded that.
Oh, yeah.
So it went click.
I'll open it.
Very
Step
well.
inside. Because it's very cramped in there.
It's maybe a little bit cramped in there, yeah. This is an interesting room, isn't it? Let's pause for a moment here, as I will describe it to you. It's a very long room with completely plain floor. Like, it's level. It's a level floor. The walls are painted. They show dwarves working. In the middle of the room are two statues, and they're both made out of metal, and they look like different types of metal, if you will. And the statues, they're standing like it's two dwarves with nice long beards and basically bare-chested, some loincloth. And they stand back to back, and they're holding up the ceiling with their hands. And they're standing in the middle of a fireplace with a lot of rests of coal and ashes and charcoal and stuff like that. On the right wall, there are 6 stone hatches, and over them, there is written a verse, which someone with languages will obviously have to read.
I can try and read it.
You can!
Ooh, but I just... Okay. I won't try and push that.
It's not your thing, is it? Reading verse.
Yeah.
Parama will come in. Rober, he's gonna stay there for the chest that you have, because that seems really cool. And I noticed that we don't have Deidre here for some reason, so I'm gonna add her. Whoop. So, what about that chest, eh? Looks at you, Halveld. What about it? Something interesting? Could be gold, eh? It's gotta be gold in it.
Now. Let's just see. It could be knowledge.
It's gotta be the treasury in it.
It might be it's something else, but it might lead us to a treasury. Might be the key to a treasury. Let's have a look, and he'll open it up.
Why don't you roll your sleight of hand then? As
Oh,
Wild throws the lockpicks back to you.
Yeah. Was there some sort of like locksmith's fetishist like running through this tower? Ye gods.
They're dwarves. What do you expect?
Weren't the dwarves chased off by the dragon, and then they came back and locked up everything? Is that what?
No, everything was locked and they didn't have time to unlock it. They abandoned. Anyway.
No,
Do we need to do a
Sorry,
forensics check here?
That should have been unlocked then.
Okay.
No, they didn't
I
even
am
have a
going
chance to run
talk.
away because it was burned, and yeah. Maybe one
Alright,
dwarf
let's
escaped
see.
through a crack that you haven't found yet.
I'm going to use adaptive, and I am going to use myths and legends again.
Of course. You have learned... You remember that book where you read about dwarven craftsmanship, and specifically about dwarven locksmithing, smicking, and that's how you can put in the little...
Yeah. Thank God I did. Yeah.
And
All right.
click you can hear as you open this little chest. It's not a very big chest. It's like you could have it in your lap, basically. The typical size of chest that you could have in a store where you're keeping the day's transactions. And indeed, treasure! There's bags of gold and silver and coppers. There's bags of
Oh, really?
coins is what I'm saying.
Okay. Oh, it's just coin, unfortunately.
Why don't I take that and just to make sure that it doesn't end up in the wrong hands or anything like that?
No, it's all right. We can take care of that. I'll make sure it gets sorted out later.
Someone should really take care of... Gistaki is the strongest among us. He could carry that sort of load, can't he?
I believe he's wearing about 600 of our gold crowns already.
He is really... Yes, okay. He's wearing a lot of silver, but not the gold, yeah.
Or silver or whatever. I believe he's already wearing enough of our coin. I'll hold on to this for now, but thanks for showing interest. You can have the box though; it's quite nice.
Yeah.
Rubu really is just Baldur Mark II, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just.
He is
Actually,
not
hold
terribly
on, close-
interested in the chest without the gold in it.
Oh, it's less okay. Halville will keep the chest because it might be interesting. He has a look at it. Does it have any symbols or anything? I don't know. Just
Some nice dwarven decor, that sort of thing.
okay.
Parama will try to read the strange writings on the wall. And she fails.
Oh dear. Do you need a reader? Is that what's going on?
Apparently we do, yeah. Rober's gonna try too.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't want to be bested. Oh, I can read this. I know how to read this. Right, here it goes. Go with eat to where silver flows like water from the end.
What?
That's what it says. Go with eat to where silver flows like water from the end.
Go with eat or go with heat?
Eat, that's what I said. Not the
Okay.
eating thing, the hot thing. That burns, like. That's what it says on the wall. And I think Halville can confirm if he tries to.
Yeah. It says that doesn't make any sense whatsoever. But I have no idea what's going on. I cannot have that. I cannot fail a roll. I'm going to get exhausted. All right, let's do this. Just because no. All right. I guess we have to listen to this man, and I think he points to his direction.
Yep.
Okay, so I think while we're now in this room, actually we should probably just do a full search of the room just in case, make sure we haven't missed anything, and then we should
We
make
didn't check
camp
out
in
the
this
other.
room.
There was another chest in the other room, wasn't there?
No, that was the chest that Halvel
Oh,
had,
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
There's a furnace here, right here. So you have a fireplace and you have a furnace.
And it said to go with heat where...
Oh, I didn't actually
What?
paste it in. Rober will say, go with heat to where silver flows like water from the end.
Okay.
Okay, so I think since we're in this room now, everything is nice and safe and stable. We should just make camp here, do a full rest, and then we'll be at full power to carry on.
Oh, so like a full shift rest, you say?
I think
You can do
what
that.
What does the short rest get us?
The stretch rest, it gives you D6 willpower, D6 hit points, and 1 condition healed.
I'm running at 2 conditions, so it may be best to do a shift rest here and then everybody's back to full charge.
If you are using your memento, your copper coin, you can actually heal 2. Once per 24 hours, you can use it to heal 1 extra condition with the memento.
Alright, if we want to save some time, then I guess we could do that.
We can do that. Absolutely. How is Kirov and Halveld using your respective mementos here to feel better about yourself?
Wait, what?
How did you recover 0? Oh, because you didn't have any spent. That makes sense.
No, yeah.
Yeah, Kirov is just looking at his memento as the first coin, the first copper coin of profit he ever made. And then just looking at the massive pile of gold that has just come out of that treasure chest and thinking of how far he's come.
Yep, he's basically Scrooge McDuck.
So with the memento, you can get an extra condition away, right?
Yes, indeed. But you have to describe how you do it and why.
Oh.
You know, how it influences you.
I blow the bone whistle really loudly. Oh, no, I don't. Hang on. I don't know. He holds it in his hands and he just goes over it and it feels better.
Kirov, I want you to roll a d6 for your oil lamp. Because it's definitely been a stretch. In fact, roll 2 d6. If you roll a 1 on either one, your oil lamp will go out. You do not. The lamp continues to burn. And so it is, my friends, that we leave our heroes here for now, inside this strange place, where you're supposed to go with heat to where silver flows like water from the hand.
Okay, we have to climb inside the furnace.
Possibly. Who knows? The furnace should be a hot place, shouldn't it? Thank you for tuning in, everyone, and let's see how these adventurers might proceed into the mercury mine and kill a dragon next time, or be killed by one, as the case might be.
We'll probably kill it.
Follow, subscribe, bell icon, all the juicy stuff. See you next week, everybody.
I'm convinced the dragon is just like old and arthritic.